Welcome to Jobbed Out, the wrestling editorial that reminds you that it takes some serious talent to survive a farting gimmick. I've spoken a couple times in the past about weird lawsuits involving WWE superstars, but this one's a doozy. So I'm just going to begin with a statement that you did not expect to hear today. There are a lot of similarities between pro wrestling and bondage. Now hear me out. Both may include individuals in shiny PVC or latex, occasionally using weapons and constantly spouting insults at a submissive target. On the other side of that coin, something I didn't think I'd ever have to say, wrestling and bondage are not the same thing. So Nattie Neidhart, known more professionally as Natalya, has been a staple in the WWE since 2008. She's actually been in their developmental system well over a year before that. While she's never been a top name in the division, she has been a good hand for most of her 15 years with the company, being relied upon to get newer talents over in quality matches, and also, since she's part of the Hart family, get a couple obligatory screwjob references in. But something she may have not been recognized for is being a violent dominatrix, according to a lawsuit filed by Donnelly in 2014. This one's a wild ride, folks, so strap in. Hey, I said strap in, not strap on. So I'm having some trouble finding info on why Donnelly was in a Pennsylvania state prison system in the first place, but while serving time, Donnelly filed a handwritten lawsuit against Natalya to the tune of $250,000. His claim? She had been his dominatrix from 2005 to 2009, meeting him in hotel rooms across the United States, beating him and prostituting him out. Oh, and of course if she doesn't pay that $250,000, he would go to the media and expose her. Yikes. So ignoring the fact that about 40% of this time frame she hadn't even been in the United States yet, and the other 60% she was traveling with her boyfriend, now husband, everywhere, BDSM services are not illegal. Shouting, "This is my dungeon, bitch," is not a crime. And there's no such thing as dominatrix cartels. Besides, what he's describing is more of a humiliatrix thing, which is also not illegal. You gotta consent to this sort of thing ahead of time, or, just not show up at numerous hotels across the country. So it took all of 10 days for a judge to see this handwritten claim, to see that he spelled the word psychologically wrong, and to assess that Donnelly had apparent mental issues before throwing the entire case out. This man couldn't even provide a single date in that 5-year period to which he and Natalya were in the same city at the same time. To the surprise of nobody, Donnelly did not get a single penny and found himself back in jail. Hilariously, Natalya would feature in an episode of Total Divas a full year later, where she recruited the services of a dominatrix to help her develop a sharper, more commanding character for Raw. It didn't go well.
A dominatrix came over.
My eyes were saying, get out of my house.
Little lamb chop. Wait.
Then again, how well was it gonna go, modeling your new character after Linda Miles? Now, like I said, I've got no idea what Donnelly was serving for or how long he would be serving. But I did find that someone with the exact same name in the exact same state would get arrested in April of 2015, less than 1 year since the Neidhart lawsuit, after a domestic dispute with his girlfriend. When the girlfriend stated that she didn't want to press charges, the officer helped her into a vehicle and closed the door, to which this Donnelly grabbed the police officer, claimed the officer was violating his civil rights, and attempted to arrest him. Now this one's gonna sound like a shocker, but he was found to be intoxicated and in possession of drug paraphernalia. He also opted to threaten harm on the officer's family on the way to the police station. Be a star, kids. I think the moral of the story here is if your name is Donnelly, don't. Just don't. Especially if you live in Pennsylvania. If you need to be put in your place that badly, I don't know, maybe hire a dominatrix who can teach you some boundaries. With all that said and done, that is the story of how an insane prisoner tried to sue Natalya for $250,000 only to make an ass of himself. So I want to ask you, what do you think? Should Natalya have addressed these claims in public? Should the WWE or its performers do something to squash instances where obsessed fans' imaginations get out of control like this? I mean, Seth Rollins recently got attacked by a fan who had no idea that the guy who was scamming him wasn't Seth Rollins. And Liv Morgan recently had an instance where a fan sold his house cause he thought she needed his money. Now this is the third time I've talked about weird wrestler lawsuits, so are there any other wacky out there cases that you'd like to hear me discuss? Let me know in the comments and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more because I want you to be a part of this conversation too. For now though, I better get my shoulders off the mat, so thank you for tuning in to Jobbed Out. I'll catch you next time.